Today we're going to be looking at multiplying and dividing by multiples of 10. We will start by going through the process of how to do these questions, and then we'll look at some examples and end with some exam questions. So the simplest way of considering this is by thinking about the decimal point of a number. So let's say we have the number 123.4.567.8. Now, if we want to multiply this number by 10, we're going to move the decimal point to the right. We're going to move the decimal point to here. This is times by 10. Okay? This will obviously give you the number 12345.678. To multiply by 10 again, you just move the decimal point again to here. And then so on and so on. And the opposite applies. To divide by 10, you want to move the decimal point to the left. This will become 123.45678. And once again, you can keep doing this. You can just keep going. Right, so you're probably wondering, what do we do if there's no decimal point? Well, in reality, there is a decimal point. We'll say this number, 653, is 653.0. That's how you can look at it. So if we're multiplying by 10, we can take this decimal point and move it over to the right by one place. So this 653 becomes 6,530. If we want to times it by 10 again, you just move the decimal point again, giving it the number 65,300. The same applies in the other direction. We have this number, 72,400, no decimal point. However, there is a decimal point. The decimal point is just here. When we want to divide by 10, we want to move the decimal point to the left by 1. And then if we want to divide by 10 again, we can move the decimal point again. We just keep getting rid of zeros. Keep getting rid of zeros until we get to this point, number 724. And then this is simple. This is what we learned earlier. At this point, we just move the decimal point again, and it becomes 72.4. So you're probably wondering, what do we do if we want to multiply by numbers like 100 or 1,000 or 10,000? This works in exactly the same way as multiplying by 10, except now we move the decimal point more times. The easiest way of figuring out how many times we want to move the decimal point is simply by counting how many zeros there are. So in 100, there are 2 zeros. So we want to move the decimal point twice when multiplying or dividing by 100. In 10, there's only 1 zero. So that's why we only move the decimal point once, either to the left or to the right. The same applies for the number 1,000. There are clearly 1, 2, 3 zeros. So the decimal point will move 3 times. So we'll take this quick example of 142. To multiply this by 100, we would move the decimal point to the right twice. So we have 1 movement, 2 to there, giving us another 2 zeros, and the number 14,200. To divide by 100, we just do the opposite. We move the decimal point from here, and we move it twice to the left. 1, 2. Giving the answer of 1.42. Here we have some examples for multiplying and dividing by multiples of 10. Take a second to pause the video and give these a try. So first of all, we have 12.08 multiplied by 100. We have 1, 2 zeros, so we're going to move the decimal point 2 times, giving us an answer of 1,208. 0.004 divided by 10. We have 1 zero, so we're going to move the decimal point 1 space to the left, giving us an answer of 0.0004. 2,358 divided by 1,000, we have 1, 2, 3 zeros. We're going to imagine a decimal point here, and we're going to move it to the left 3 times. 1, 2, 3, giving an answer of 2.358. And finally, we have 17.1 multiplied by 1,000. We have 1, 2, 3 zeros, so we're going to move the decimal point to the right 3 times. 1, 2, 3, giving an answer of 17,100. So here is a slightly harder example. This is more of a problem-solving question. A shelf is 1.5 meters long. How many 10cm files will fit on the shelf? So there's a simple approach to this question. We want all the values to have the same units. So we see we've got meters here, centimeters here. So we want to convert the meters into centimeters. To do this, to get from meters to centimeters, we must multiply the value for meters by 100. This is because there are 100 centimeters in a meter. 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So 1.5 multiplied by 100. We've used these skills throughout the video. We've got 1, 2 zeros, so we're going to move the decimal point to the right 2 times. 1, 2 times, giving us a value of 150 centimeters. We now want to know how many times 10 centimeters goes into the 150 centimeters. So we're going to do 150 centimeters divided by 10, which gives a value. We've got 1 0 here, so we want to move this decimal point once to the left to give a value of 15 files. Here we have another question from the same paper. Work out 31.7 multiplied by 100. So we have 31.7 multiplied by 100. We can count that there are 1, 2 zeros, and it's multiplied. So we're going to move the decimal point 2 spaces to the right, 1 space, 2 space, it's going to end up there, giving us an answer of 3,170.